a brief idea, and maybe after that you can just go through that and start solving the problems. Okay. Uh, so we'll have the session. We'll be having the session again on Sunday. So till that time, you can just go through. Uh, Today, you just uh, whatever I'll give you an idea about the quadratic equation. You just get an idea. Okay. And I guess week 2 is done. Week 2 submission also is done. I guess day before yesterday was the last date. And for week 3, what's the deadline that you have to submit?
26.
26 June.
Next Wednesday, sir.
Okay, 26th is that deadline. Okay. Okay, how is the other, like, how many of you are attending the TH session? Those sessions are also going on. You're already, are you aware of that or not?
Yes, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have 4 extra session that generally occurs every, I guess the schedule must be there in your calendar, so you can attend those sessions also if you have a doubt or anything. So those sessions also occur. I guess I don't know the dates, but yeah, there are generally 3 to 4 sessions that occurs. The timing is from 2 to 4, I guess mostly. Are you able to see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start with the week 3. Week 3 is, so this is the most easiest topic that you'll be reading in all 3-4 weeks. So the starting 4 weeks, I guess this is the most simplest topic that you're reading. Okay, the quadratic equation. So mostly, if in the general form, you can generally write it as like this: x square plus bx plus c. And you already know that where a should not be equals to 0. Otherwise, it will become a linear equation, right? If a is equals to
Yes.
0, again it will become a linear equation. Okay, so mostly you represent a quadratic equation in this form, and this is also like a representation of a parabola. Okay, maybe it can go upward or it may go downward. So depending upon the value of a, the parabola can be this one going upward or going downward, right? Correct or not? So in which case, if you have a parabola like a parabola or a quadratic equation like this, ax squared plus bx plus c, it's the basic simple quadratic equation. This is a general form of a quadratic equation. Okay, and this can be represented like the first one. Let's, for example, if a parabola is going upward, that means your a, that the constant is basically a is positive, and if your a is negative, right, then your parabola is going downward. So this is a basic information that you should be knowing about a parabola or a quadratic equation. So for a general form of a quadratic equation, that can be represented in this form, or that can be shown in the graph. Okay, that can be shown in the graph in the first or the second case. One of the two can occur. And the line, and this line, there is a one axis of symmetry, right? This is axis of symmetry. Okay, so if you'll fold this parabola or your quadratic equation, okay, so you'll be getting, you can fold it basically, and then the first one will overlap to the second one. Okay, this is basically your axis of symmetry, and wherever the axis of symmetry intersect with your basically the parabola or the quadratic equation, this point is basically, you call it as a vertex, right? So here also, this is your axis of symmetry, and this is your vertex. There are some basic features of these two parabola. So I'll just start with the first one. The first one is, what is the ax square plus bx plus c, and this is what, and if a first of all is not equals to 0 and a is positive. So what did I say? If a is positive, how should you represent the parabola or the quadratic equation? Whether it will be going downward or upward?
Upward.
Parabola.
Correct.
Upward, sir.
Upward.
Yeah, it will go upward, right? So if we are good, if this parabola is going upward or the quadratic equation is going upward, this would be the axis of symmetry, right? Okay, and this would be the vertex. Can somebody tell me what should be the so for any parabola, for like for this type of quadratic equation, the general form, what should be the domain for this, and what should be the range, like that idea about what should be the domain should be R, correct? You can put any values as of now in this equation. You can put any values, right, from the R in this quadratic equation, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The domain can be real number.
Okay, and what should be the range? Range should be, range is a
Greater
boundary.
than
Minus b
the
by 2 to
minimum
infinity.
value.
Zero.
So it will be greater than 0, sir.
Infinity.
And
Okay,
minus b by 2
correct. So if, let's for example, if this is touching, if this is just touching the x-axis, okay, this is
चाहिए सर एप्पल सर
मम्मी यार समझा ले यार
can you please mute yourself? I guess I don't know the name, but can you please mute yourself? Yeah, everybody, just mute yourself. Yeah. Okay, so this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So if, let's for example, this quadratic equation was just touching the x-axis, okay, then you can directly say that this parabola or the quadratic equation, you can put any values, like the domain can be R, like you can put it any values, okay, right here. But the range that you will be getting, the final outcome, okay, that you will be getting will be from here, right? So basically it will be from here, correct? Here. So this 0, if you are thinking this is touching the x-axis, so it's from 0 to infinite, okay? So the range will be, can be from 0 to infinite, correct? One more thing, this parabola which is going upward, what do you know, like if this is a vertex, right? Vertex will represent the minimum value or the maximum value. So for this range, whatever we have got 0 to infinite, 0 is the minimum value or the maximum value?
Minimum.
Minimum value, sir. Minimum
Okay.
value.
Correct. So minimum, this is minimum, right?
Have
So
a
one
doubt,
more
sir.
infer that you can make is, whenever you have been given a parabola or a quadratic equation that is going upward, that means you'll always be getting a minima, right? At its vertex, correct? So this is a vertex. So I told you the axis of wherever the axis of symmetry and the quadratic equation or the parabola that is intersecting will be a vertex, correct? And this vertex, at this vertex, you'll be getting the minima, right? Because the range for this parabola or this equation was from 0 to infinite, right? So the minima that you will be getting at vertex, correct? Is not it? Is it clear
Yes,
to
sir.
everyone? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So two things we got. So the range will be some bounded range we'll be getting, correct? And the first thing. The second thing is, for any parabola, like for this type of equation where you have the quadratic equation is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c and a is positive, that means a parabola that is going upward, you'll always be getting a minima, correct? And what can you tell about the maxima? What can be the maximum value for this case?
When
Sir,
A is
when
less than
parabola
0,
goes downward, sir.
downward parabola.
Downward.
No. For this itself, what should be the maximum value for this parabola itself?
Infinity.
There is no
Infinity.
infinity. There is no value maximum.
There is no
Correct.
maximum value, sir.
We cannot define it. It's not defined.
The maximum value will tend to infinite, will start tending to infinite, correct? Okay, if the given domain is R, okay. One more thing, for the same parabola, where A was positive, correct? Let's example this one. And if I'm putting a boundary on the domain, okay, let's for example the domain that I have fixed it from here. So this is basically the domain from here to here, So this is what, and just let's for example this is some value, and let's for example this is at this particular point. Okay, so this is domain 1 and this is domain 2, and the domain for this is belongs to d1 to d2. This is in the close bracket. So I guess close, open bracket, everything is clear to you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's for example, if the domain D is from D1 to D2, and at particular D1, the value is, let's for example, this is some Y1 and this is Y2. And you can see that Y2 is greater than Y1. I'm giving just example. And at this is a vertex, this is a vertex V1. So at vertex V1, this function is having the minimum. Now I'm asking you, from domain D1 to D2, what should be the range? Can you tell me? At this B1, let's for example, this is Y3. Now I'm asking you, for the given parabola that is going upward, I'm just asking you the range for the given domain D1 to D2. What do you think should be the value? Like,
Comma infinity.
okay, so I'm just giving the option. The first option is, so the first option R for the R, the first option is R belongs to Y3 to infinite, Y1 to infinite,
Y3 to Y1, close brackets.
So to infinite, y to infinite.
yeah, which are the four options?
Fourth option, sir.
Fourth option, sir. Y3, Y2.
Y3 to Y2.
Yeah, so the fourth option is correct. Okay, because I was just talking about in this domain. I didn't like talk about for the whole range, like whole domain. So whole R I was talking about. I was just talking about the domain D, that is from D1 to D2. Okay, so then you can see that the minimum value that in this D1 to D2, the minimum value is occurring at V1, that is the vertex, and we already know that at vertex the minima will occur for a parabola that is going upward. Okay, and the maximum value is occurring at D2, that is the value is Y2. So the range will be from Y3, the minima, to the maximum. Is it clear to everyone? So if you have been given if they have kept the boundary of the domain as fixed, then you have to check. Okay, so what can be the maximum, what can be the minima? Like minima, you can directly get it from the vertex, but maximum you'll have to check for some condition, like some extreme condition. Okay, and then you have to get an idea. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next part, and that is basically that is also simple. So the other one, so a less than 0, and that is what this, like basically a parabola that is going downward.
Downward parabola.
For this type of parabola, this should be the axis of symmetry, and you'll be having this vertex. Can you tell me at this vertex what will happen? Whether you'll be getting a maxima or a minima?
Maximum value.
Yeah.
Maximum.
So here you'll be getting maxima. Okay. So at this particular point, you will basically get a maxima. Okay. So for this case, for I'm just if the domain is belonging to R. Okay. Can you please mute yourself, everyone?
It's Rishabh.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was talking about a parabola that is going downward. Okay. So for this case, we'll be getting a maxima at its vertex. Okay. And for the domain that belongs to R, like the domain is for whole real number, the range. What can you say about the range here?
0 to minus infinity.
Yes, sir. 0 to minus infinity.
0 to minus infinity or infinity to 0? Or like 0 if you are just
The
thinking this as a 0, like
maximum
just touching.
lower than the
The minus
maximum value.
infinity comma 0, sir.
Yeah, 0 you can say only if this is just touching the x-axis, okay? If it was crossing x-axis, that then you'll have to check the value. But as of now, I'm just telling you the vertex is 0, 0 itself, and this is just touching the x-axis. Then the range would be from some minus infinite to 0, correct? So you'll have to always write this as a smaller one and this like the minima and the maximum. Okay. You can't write it like 0 to minus infinite. You'll always be writing minus infinite to 0. 0 as a close and minus infinite as you don't know the value minus infinite will always be open. Okay. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's start solving some problems. Not problem, but I'll just give you an idea about some more concepts and then we'll solve some problems. So yeah, so in quadratic equation, the one thing that you should be knowing is the slope. Okay, the third thing that I'm discussing about the quadratic equation is the slope. Slope of a quadratic equation. Okay. So for any function that has been given to you, fx equals to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equals to 0. Okay, what do you mean by a slope of a function at some particular point x, comma y or fx? What do you mean by that?
That is the inclination, sir. Of
Inclination. Okay. Anything else?
Value of first
Y with
derivative.
respect to x.
Inclination towards positive x-axis.
Okay.
Differentiate with respect to x.
It is a rate of change of y-axis with respect to x-axis.
Correct. This is the rate of, what did you say? Rate of change of y with respect to x.
X. Hmm.
So everyone said the correct thing. Like the inclination, you can say, or you can say the like rate of change of the y values with respect to x. That is also correct. Okay. So I guess it's simple. So this is basically del y by del x, right? Okay. Or you can say that for a very small distance, like you can just try to put it like a dy by dx also you can say. Okay, if I have to calculate dy by dx for this equation, what should be the value? How many of you are aware of this differentiation?
2x
sir,
plus
ax plus
b.
It
b.
will be 2a,
2x plus b.
2ax plus b.
2ax plus b, sir.
2ax plus
2ax plus b.
2x plus b, correct? So if you are
Yes.
differentiate it, you'll be left
Yes,
with
sir.
2x plus b, correct? So at some particular point, so at some point, okay, on the parabola itself, if you have to get the slope will be what? 2x plus b, correct? So you can just remember this formula if you don't know the differentiation, because differentiation will deal in week 5 and 6 after quiz. Okay, so you can just remember if you don't know the like the differentiation and all. As of now, I'm just thinking that most of you doesn't know about that, but then also this formula you should be knowing. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and one more thing, slope is basically the rate of change of y with respect to x. Okay, or you can say the maybe
So
the
you
tan
get the
theta.
slope is, yes, sir. I was about to say the tan theta. Slope equals to tan theta.
Yeah,
Can you
that
just move
also.
this to the
Yeah,
upwards one?
that also you can think of. It's like basically the tan theta also you can think of in that way also.
Hello, sir.
Okay, one more thing. Yeah.
Sir, can you just move the screen upwards? I just want to write down. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now let's start with. Okay. So you know
Excuse me,
that this
sir.
is the yeah.
Sir, is this a general formula for slope of any parabola that we can use for any parabola?
Yeah,
This
if the
2x.
parabola, yeah, so the quadratic equation, specific parabola, you can Yeah, this is the quadratic equation, and for this type of quadratic equation, or if the parabola is written in this form, then you can say that the slope that we'll be getting is 2x plus b every time. Okay, if it is written in this form, x square, like in the general form, it's not like a parabola that you're taking where the axis of symmetry is x-axis. There it won't work. Okay,
So,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
for the two variable, it is not valid.
for two variable,
Two
so we are
variable
not dealing
parabola.
itself. We are not dealing itself with the two variable parabola or anything. So
Yes,
you are
sir.
just
I'm just
saying that if
asking, is this equation is valid for two variables?
two variable, you're just talking about if you have been given x and y both, right? So you're
Yes.
dealing with three dimensions something. No, it
Yes.
doesn't. Yeah, it will not be same for that three-dimensional. Like okay.
Okay.
So there it will you'll be having some different concept, partial differentiation or everything like will change. But yeah, so here if you have been given something in this form where your it is in two dimension and your y basically your parabola or the quadratic equation is in this form, in the general form x square plus bx plus c, then your slope will always be 2x plus b. And wherever we are dealing, every time it will work like 2x plus b, because as of now we are just thinking that you don't know the like the differentiation and the simpler concept, but we just hope that you should be knowing this formula 2x plus b. Okay, because we mostly will deal with those type of quadratic equation only. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
many
sir.
times if you are getting confused like how this is working or not, what you can do is directly differentiate it. Like if you know the differentiation. Okay, if you don't know, then we'll be going through that in the upcoming weeks, but as of now you can just think of at that way. Okay, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So if you know the slope and okay, one more thing I'm just discussing with you. So slope you already know now. So let's, for example, in the first case was where a is greater than 0. So it is going, parabola going upward. So at some particular point, you can just calculate the slope, right? At this particular point, you can calculate the slope. At every place, you can calculate the slope, right? Right? You can calculate the slope at each particular point. Okay.
Yes.
At this point, wherever you are having a vertex as, wherever you'll have the minima value or the vertex, right? At this particular point, what do you think of the slope? So at this point, the slope can be something like that. Here it can
Positive.
be positive or like this. Here
Zero.
also it is.
Negative.
At this particular point, what do you think of the slope? Zero or negative? Like
Yes, sir.
what? Like zero or negative? Like
Zero.
not zero. Correct?
Zero.
How many
Yes.
of you are agreeing that the slope
Yes.
will be zero at this particular point?
Yes, sir.
So which point, sir?
At the minima. At the
Vertex.
minimum. At the
So zero, sir.
vertex.
So zero.
Zero.
It will be zero. Correct?
Not zero,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So at this point, I'm just talking about at this point.
Zero.
So you'll be having the slope at this
Zero.
like yeah, correct. So
Zero.
it'll be zero here, right? So the slope you can see that the slope will be zero. And if the slope is zero, what can I write? So I can I equate the slope as 2x plus b equals to 0? Can I equate
Yes.
this?
Yes,
So
sir.
Yes,
at this
sir.
particular point, what will I get? X what will I get the x coordinate minus b by 2a, correct?
Minus
B by
Yes,
2,
sir.
So
Yes.
here the x coordinate will be minus b by 2a, correct? And corresponding to that, whatever the y value I'll be getting,
minus B by 4A.
okay, so we can put the value here. So we can put it in this x square plus bx plus c. Okay, we can put the value, function value. We'll be getting the y coordinate. So this is basically the x coordinate and this is y coordinate. Correct?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
clear?
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did I say? If you are getting a parabola that is going upward, so you'll be having the minima at this point. Correct? Correct or not? Minima
Yes,
at
sir.
vertex.
Yes, sir.
Now vertex you are knowing, the x coordinate of vertex you are knowing, y coordinate you are knowing. What is the minima value? I'm not talking about the where it is occurring. What is the exact minima value? So this should be the value, right?
Coordinates, y coordinate.
Yeah, y coordinate, correct. So if you have some, let's for example, this was the parabola, this was going like this, okay, and at this point the vertex was occurring. So the minima value basically was what? The y coordinate of this particular point. So x coordinate is the point where the vertex, like at vertex the minima is occurring, and the y coordinate will tell you what is the the minimum value for this function, okay, from where it will start. So basically the range for this, if I'm just asking you the range for this quadratic equation, it will be basically from f of minus b by 2a to infinite, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So similarly, so
Sir,
now you got
by 2a,
how
how
to
to know b by 2a?
Can you just explain once more, sir?
okay. Okay, so what I was saying is, in the starting, we just have calculated the slope of a quadratic equation at some particular point, at some point x comma fx. Okay, so here we have seen that while calculating the rate of change of y with respect to x, we were able to get the slope. So when we do the dy dx, we got the slope. So this is the formula for the slope. Now, after going forward, so we thought of that at each particular point there must be some slope, but there will be at this part at the vertex, as we can see that the slope will be parallel to the x-axis. So this is basically what the slope will be 0 at this particular point. Okay, so we have just equated the slope to 0, and then we got the x coordinate for this like the quadratic equation where the vertex was occurring. So this is the vertex, correct or not? So the
Yes,
x
sir.
coordinate of the vertex, and similarly, if you will put this x in the function, you'll get the y coordinate. Okay,
Y coordinate.
and y coordinate, yeah,
So when you equate the slope to 0, it means that that will be the point of vertex. That will define the vertex, right?
that will be the point of.
So when you equate the whole slope to 0, it becomes parallel to the x-axis, and hence we get to the vertex. Is what you say?
Yeah, correct. That is parallel to x-axis. Yeah, and
Yes.
basically, if you have the standard form of parabola, it will be like the slope will be 0, and you can equate it to 0. And this is what you do whenever you have to find a minima or a maxima. Also, like some quadratic equation, basically you differentiate it and equate it to 0. So the reason behind that is we are just equating the slope to equal to 0. Okay, so many times maybe in the class 10th or class 9th you used to do that directly. You can just, if you have to calculate minima maxima, you don't like just think of and you just differentiate it, equate it to 0, whatever the value you are getting, you just think of this can be a point where the minima or maxima is occurring for that particular equation, and then you double differentiate it to get that whether it's a positive and negative, and that will help you to get the exact thing, like whether it's a maxima or a minima. Okay, so here also we are just doing the same thing, we are using the same concept, but in a smarter way. We are just thinking that at this particular point at the vertex the slope is 0. Okay, so we have the formula for the slope, and we have equated it to 0 to get the x coordinate at that vertex, even though we can get this vertex with the other method also, but this is the simplest that you can think of. You just equated the slope to 0 because we already know that this must be parallel to, like this is parallel to x-axis if we are representing the parallel in this way in the standard form. Okay, and we are equating it to 0. We got the x coordinate as minus b by 2a, and basically you can think of this way also, and this is what x equals to minus 2 minus b by 2a is your axis of symmetry also, correct or not? This is minus b by 2a, so this will be parallel to y-axis. So wherever you are writing x equals to some constant k, this is parallel to y-axis. Okay, and whenever you are writing y equals to some constant k2, this is parallel to x-axis. This straight line is parallel to x-axis, correct, and this is parallel to y-axis. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
And what I was saying is, if we have this as a coordinate system, if I'm writing x equals to 1, x equals to 1 is what? This straight line or this straight line? Can you tell me this is 1 or 2? Which of the two is
One.
x equals to 1?
Sir, 2, sir.
First one, sir.
First one.
1.
Yeah,
No,
x
sir.
equals to
One, sir,
1,
sorry,
right?
sorry.
X equals to
1.
Where is x equals to 1? This is 1, right?
One, sir.
X equals to 1.
One,
And this
yes.
should be always fixed. So this is the line, right? So the first one is correct. So every time you should remember, whenever you have to get a line x equals to some constant, that is basically always parallel to y-axis. So this is parallel to y-axis, right? And whenever you have y equals to some constant k, so that will be parallel to x-axis. Okay. So here also we can see that whenever you are getting x equals to minus b by 2a. So I was saying you, right? So the axis of symmetry for this parabola, the quadratic equation that you have is like the parabola equals to minus b by 2a. If you'll just fold this parabola, okay, so this will just overlap. So you can see that you got, after just equating x equals like the slope equals to 0, you got a straight line also. You got the coordinate of the straight line, like coordinate of the vertex, okay, and that itself x equals to minus b by 2a is your axis of symmetry also. So whenever you have been asked to calculate the axis of symmetry, there also you can use this method and you can just get, because why we are able to get it, because you already know that this line is parallel to y-axis and this line parallel to y-axis, and you have a coordinate at some particular point, so that must be the line itself. Okay, is it
I
clear to
have a
everyone?
doubt, sir. I have a doubt. Minimum value of this equation is vertex of x-axis or vertex of y-axis, sir?
Can you repeat that? I didn't get you.
Actually, the minimum value of this quadratic equation is vertex of x-axis or vertex of y-axis, sir?
Vertex of x-axis or vertex of y? Like, see,
Vertex
this
of
point,
parabola.
so whatever the quadratic equation of the parabola that you have dealing with, okay. So this x equals to minus b by 2 would be the x coordinate of your vertex, okay, vertex of your parabola. So you'll be having an axis of symmetry and you'll be having a vertex, okay, right? So we are calculating the x coordinate of the, like x coordinate we got it, x coordinate of the vertex of your parabola, okay. Is it clear, or you're asking something else?
Minimum value was minus b by 2a, was sir?
Minus b by 2. Yeah, minimum value. So the minimum value is occurring at x equals to minus b by 2a. That the value is not minus b by 2a. So the value, you'll have to put that minus b by 2a in this equation to get the minimum value. Are you getting my point?
So minimum
So
value
if
is f of minus b by 2a.
f of, yeah, correct, f of x of like f of x, basically x is there is minus b by 2a.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I'll write it if you have any confusion. So we dealt with the axis of symmetry. What is the equation that we got? X equals to minus b by 2a.
Yes, sir.
And then we dealt with vertex of parabola. Okay. And here we got x coordinate. What was the x coordinate? X coordinate
minus
Minus
minus b by 2a. And y coordinate we got it as?
F of minus
F
b
of
by
minus b
2a.
by 2a.
Yeah, correct.
Hmm.
Okay, so we dealt with 2-3 things, and we already know about the slope also. So slope, though, I already wrote it as
2x plus b.
2x plus b. So these are some 2-3 formula that if you could just know this four formulas, right, mostly you'll be able to solve the problems wherever will be asked in the quiz or the qualifier papers. Okay, so these are the 4 formula that you should be knowing, and some of the basic concept that I already told you about a greater than 0 and a less than 0. This you should be having in your mind. If you have a greater than 0 or a less than 0, what should be the range, what should be the domain, all those specs you should be knowing. Okay, one more thing, roots and the zeros for any equation. Okay, what? So if you have a quadratic equation of the parabola like this, let's say example.
Sir, why coordinate? Why use the f of minus b by 2a?
What? Can you repeat that?
y coordinate, y use of f upon f or dy to a.
Yeah, you can put the value. If we have x square plus bx plus c, you just put the value x here, and whatever the thing you are getting, a minus b by 2a whole square plus b into minus b by 2a plus c. This should be your y coordinate. This is what I was saying. Okay,
Okay,
is
sir.
it clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now we are dealing with, this is a parabola, ax square plus bx plus c, where a is greater than 0. So how many roots are there for this? This is x-axis. This is y-axis.
The two roots are there.
root.
Two, sir.
Yeah, this is the first root, x1. This is the second root, x2.
X2.
Correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have basically, you can say that you have two roots for this equation. Correct? Two distinct roots you have, right? So basically you have two distinct roots. Correct? And basically you'll be having minimum will occur here. Okay, so that is fine. So it's the first case. Okay, you can have a second case. Okay, so I guess I one. Just touching. How many roots are there?
One
Sir,
Two roots.
One root.
touching, sir. It's
Roots are
zero,
two.
sir.
There are
Then
two
one.
roots. Like this
So it's
touching.
not
Just think of this.
touching. Okay, then
Zero
one,
Think
root.
of
sir.
this
One.
touching.
So if it is touching, then one.
One
See,
root.
root.
so the roots are
One
two,
root.
but the repeated roots are occurring here. Okay, there are only one distinct root. Okay, but the number of roots are two, but those are repeated root. Okay, so if let's for example this is x1, you can say that x1 is the, like, you have one distinct root, like only one, but you x1 is the roots basically. The repeated root x1, the repeated root is occurring. Okay, what did I say?
Yes, sir.
Here also the number of roots, if somebody is asking, the number of roots are two, but the number of distinct roots are one. There is a repeated root at x1. Okay, is it fine for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So how, sir? Didn't understand, sir.
So I explain that, like, so explain the term that you the
Sir,
repeated.
why x1 comma x1?
So how
No.
it is two roots? I didn't get it, sir.
See, whenever you have a quadratic equation, right? Okay, if you have a quadratic equation, okay, let's for example, x minus 6 equals to the whole square equals to 0. For this equation, you have 6 as a distinct root, like you have only 6 as a root. Okay, are you getting my point? See, for this equation,
Yes, sir. Yes.
so this is x1 equals to 6. But basically, if you are just dealing with a quadratic equation, okay, so then roots will be 6 only. The distinct root is 6 only. But the way you say is the number of roots, here you have a repeated root. Like basically the multiplicity for this x equals to c is 2. Like you'll deal with those concepts, multiplicity and all. But here you just think of the number of roots is 2, but the repeated root is occurring. At 6 itself, both the roots are occurring. X minus 6 and x minus 6 equals to 0. So in this way you can just think of, okay? But more or less, it will not be asked about the number of roots, it will just be asked about the distinct root. So for this case, the distinct roots that you have is 1, 1. Okay, is it clear? Yeah. Okay, in this way you can just think of. And if you have something like that, how many roots are there for this equation?
Zero roots.
Zero roots, sir.
No roots.
Zero.
Yeah, you don't have any roots,
No
because
roots.
roots are what? Wherever it is touching or crossing the x-axis.
Cutting
Okay,
x-axis.
basically those who called it as a zero or the intercept. If it is intercepting the x-axis at some particular point, then only you can say that this quadratic equation has a root. Okay, for this case, neither it is touching nor it is crossing the x-axis, or you don't have any zeros or you don't have any intercept to the x-axis. Okay, that's why this equation doesn't have any root. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we say for
Okay.
this it has imaginary roots or it doesn't have roots, sir?
Yeah, the third equation doesn't have any roots. This does no roots.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Here you can just think of as a one root, or you can say the repeated root. And here you are having
Sir, but we
two
can't show the imaginary roots in the graph of sir.
the imaginary roots we are not dealing itself. We are just dealing all the real roots. This is real root.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
We are just dealing with the real root. We are not dealing with the imaginary, like the complex. No, like we are not dealing with the complex things. Okay. One more thing, whenever you are solving a quadratic equation, see every time you should not be worrying about. You can learn the concepts like how to solve a quadratic equation, how to calculate the roots of a quadratic equation. There can be 2-3 methods, factorization method, or you can directly use the completing the square method, or you just use a formula. So in the exam, nobody is going to ask you how are you calculating. So whichever method suits you would be the best one. So I would prefer always see if you are able to just see the quadratic equation and able to solve that directly. Okay, directly you can use that. But if you are getting confused every time how to solve which method you should be using, you should not get confused with that. Directly for any equation x square plus bx plus c, okay, you just
There is
solve
background
in
noise.
this
Can
way.
you please ask them to mute themselves?
Yeah. Who is that? Like, please mute yourself, otherwise the whole class is getting disturbed.
You mute everyone, please.
So okay, now is it fine now? I guess it's fine.
Yes, fine now.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what I was saying is, there are some 2-3 methods that has been discussed in the lectures, like how to solve the quadratic equation. What I would ask you to do is, whenever you'll be asked in the anywhere, like you'll not be asked which method because it's not a pen and paper. Okay, to solve which method you are using, you'll not be asked. Okay, solve this quadratic equation with the help of completing your square. So those things are not being asked. So what you can do is at least one method you should be knowing, and one method you should be in proficient of, like so that you can always you'll be able to solve that. And I guess every time you'll not be able to solve with the help of factorization and completing a square. It's better to just use this formula directly. Okay. Two ways. So this thing you can just remember it. Like most probably, like everyone would be knowing this, but
Yes,
this
sir.
will help you to get the roots. Okay, this will help you to get the roots of the equation. And I can say that this can be categorized into some 2-3 cases. Okay, if you are just solving for this quadratic equation you have been given, and you just solve to get the roots or the zeros of the form, like of the quadratic equation, you just try to solve this. Okay, and in this way you can solve it with the other methods also, completing the square and all. Look, if you are able to do that directly seeing the quadratic equation, well and good. Otherwise you directly jump into this method, directly write all the b or a or c, whatever the values that is given, calculate the values. Okay, most probably generally some questions are there. There can be some question. I'm just whatever I'm dealing, I'm just giving you the reference of the qualifier exam. In the qualifier, you'll not be asked to calculate the quadratic, like to solve the roots and all. Like it's the very basic question. But there can be questions. You can have a MSQ, okay, and in that MSQ, you can be given some quadratic equation or some function of a parabola, and then in one of the option, it can be given as a root, and then will be asked like this is the root, like okay, so let's for example 4 and 6 is the root, so the given parabola. Okay, but there will be some other things also to calculate, like the slope or the minima, like the vertex, or maybe some other things also. So what I was trying to say is you'll not be asked to calculate the root directly, but there can be small parts in some of the questions where you'll be asked. Okay, so best is to remember this, like you have to remember there's no other option for this. Okay, you have to remember this. There can be some 2-3 cases. If let's for example the first case is, so from this formula we can see that if we adjust, if you have this as a perfect square, right? If you are getting this b square minus 4ac as greater than 0 as an perfect square, okay, what does that mean? Will be okay, yeah, that will be real for sure. So let's say the first case is b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. Okay, and this is perfect square also, perfect square. Okay, then what does that mean? You'll be getting some real number, right? Or rational number you'll be getting always, correct? If you have b square minus 4ac greater than 0, and this is perfect square also. Let's for example this b square minus 4ac equals to 4. So we'll be left with what? Minus b plus minus 2 by 2a, correct? And then depending upon the b and a, you can get it some integer value, some real number, right? Or rational number you'll be getting. Is not it? Is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this, whatever the condition that I'm telling you, this also can be one of your question in the exam. Okay. Like for example, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then can this number be an irrational number or something else? Like, so those clarity should be having. The first thing, what did I say? If your b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, okay, and that is a perfect square also, like it's a perfect square, then we'll be left with this type of equation. That means we can get a real number or a rational number. Like real is very big, so rational number you can get it, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Can I say that you'll
Hello,
be
sir.
getting an irrational number if b square minus 4ac is
Yes,
greater than
sir.
0?
If b is root 3, then what?
No, b is not root 3. Like I'm just telling, so b, a, everything is a normal, like let's for example integer.
It's not perfect square.
Okay, and b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, and it's a perfect square, then you'll be getting some rational number for sure. Okay, can you get an irrational number if you have a perfect square and b, a are integer? Can you get a irrational number? No, right?
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
Okay, so then come to the next part. If you have b square, but even though if you just have b square, I'm just removing this condition. So it's just that b square minus 4ac, the number of roots you'll be getting 2, right? 2 real roots you'll be getting, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
But now you can't say whether it will be a rational or irrational, because if you are just getting a positive number, this positive can be root 3 also, right? And then minus b plus minus root 3 upon 2a. So maybe this can be irrational number also, right? Okay, so this can be rational or irrational, doesn't matter. But if you have a perfect square, then you can say that it's a rational number you'll be getting. It's not it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So can you repeat
Yes,
that
sir.
point again?
What I was saying is, I'll just write it out so that it will be clear to you. So you can have this first condition that I tell you was b square minus 4ac greater than 0. So for this case, you'll be getting 2 real roots for sure.
Yes, sir.
But if you have the b square minus 4ac, you are getting as a perfect square. And the other values, like other values that I told you, perfect square you're getting, that means your value will be like minus b plus minus some perfect square. Okay, some perfect square, like for example b upon 2a. This is the formula, right? Or I'm missing something? Yeah, this is the formula. Okay,
So you're
so
saying
here
it is not greater to 0, right?
this is greater than 0, but it's a perfect square.
Okay, this is a perfect square.
Then you'll be getting a rational number here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like you can't get an irrational here because you already know that b, a is integer and then d is also integer, so you'll be getting some rational number.
Yes.
But the second case is not a perfect square. Let's for example the b square minus 4ac, you are getting something as 3. Okay, that means minus b plus minus root 3 upon 2a, something like that you are getting. Okay, so what I'm saying is, in this case there's a high chance that you'll be getting an irrational number. Okay, this was the thing. And the second thing, yeah, so this I dealt with. Now we'll move to the next part. So the first thing is you'll be getting two real roots for sure. So real root will be always be 2 if you are just getting b square minus 4ac, or many people call it as a discriminant. If this is positive, for sure you'll be getting two real roots. But then depends upon it's a perfect square or not. If it's a perfect square, you'll be getting a rational number. Like rational number you already know, right? P by q and then q is not equal to 0. Something in that form. It's not a
Yes.
irrational number. Correct. So, and if this is not a perfect square, then you can get a irrational number. This is first case. Let's move to the second case now. If
Sir,
your b square
Minus
Sir, I
4
am,
equal to 0.
what minus
sir,
what
how to know two real root?
two real roots. Okay. So I was saying it right. If you have b square, so your formula is what? Minus b plus minus what? This was b square minus 4ac by 2a.
1, 2.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
this is a positive, like you are getting something here, right? So now you'll be left with what? Let's, for example, this is a value d. So now you'll be having what? Two roots will be there, right? Minus b by 2a. One is plus d and one minus d. So you're getting
Yes.
two roots, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is root 1 and this is root 2. Or you can say the zeros of the or the intercept of the equation. So anything you can say.
And so what
Now,
about the second case, the perfect square case? How many roots do you have there?
here also will be having two roots, right? Minus b by 2a plus b and minus b. And here also will be having two roots in the conjugate form. So minus b, like it's not conjugate. Okay. So minus b plus root 3 by 2a minus b minus root 3 by 2a. So the two real roots will be constant. Okay. Always be two real roots if you are getting discriminant as a positive value. But it depends on it whether it's a perfect square or not. Okay. It will be rational or irrational, depending upon the perfect, whether it's a perfect square or not. Okay. Now the second case is if you have a discriminant as equals to 0. Okay. Then
Equal real roots.
how many roots you'll be getting?
One root.
One distinct root.
One real root you'll be getting.
Yes.
One या two equal रहेगा.
You can say that
Why,
anything you can say.
one?
See, anything you can say. One real root you can say, one distinct root you can say, or you can say that because it's a quadratic, will be having two repeated root. Okay, this also you can say. One repeated root you can say. Okay, anything you can say that. Okay, nobody will question you on that because it's basically it will be having. So whenever you have a b square minus 4ac equals to 0, so your equation will turn it to be minus b plus minus. This will be 0, right? This will be 0 upon 2a. So you'll be having minus b by 2a.
And this is rational number.
Rational roots.
So here you are having rational integer. So it depends on the b and a, right?
Sir, why root 0?
What?
I am saying why root 0?
Because we got it right. B square minus 4ac as 0, right? The formula is got b minus b square minus 4ac. If this is equals to 0, so you'll be having this is 0 and then b by 2a. So you are getting minus b by 2a, something like that. So it's a rational root that you're getting. Okay. So one real root for sure you'll be getting, and that is basically the repeated root you'll be getting. So one rational root you are getting here. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the third case is, so if you're getting confused with this thing that I was saying here, two roots, okay. Why I was saying is because it's a quadratic equation and it's a repeated root at x equals to 6. That's why. If you don't want to say it like that way, you can directly say that it's a one real root. Okay. One repeated root is occurring at x equals to 6. Okay. So don't get confused in that. If you have been asked, you can directly say that one real root or one repeated root. Okay. Anything is fine. But nobody is going to ask you that.
So one real root is the same, right?
What?
I am saying one real root, one repeated root is also same.
Yes.
So for that case, you can directly say that because see, for this case, you can say that wherever you are getting the discriminant at 0, okay, wherever the parabola is touching x-axis, at that particular point, you can say that it is having a repeated root at x equals to some value. Clear? Can we move to the next part? Okay.
Yes.
So the next part is b square minus 4ac less than 0.
Imaginary.
No real root.
No
Imaginary
real
roots
root.
can occur, okay, but that we are not dealing. The imaginary roots we are not dealing. Real roots, there won't be any real root because we already know that will not cross our x-axis. Okay, if not
Yes,
crossing,
sir.
then we don't have any real roots. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so I'll just give you one equation. So this is x square plus 2x minus 20 equals to 24. Sorry. There's how many roots are there? Can you tell me?
2 roots.
How many real roots are there?
2
Two
roots.
roots.
Real roots.
Real, and what is the value of discriminant? Also, you have to tell me.
Minus 6 and 4.
B square.
Yeah, so the root will be 4 and minus 6. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please solve the equation.
What?
Please solve the equation.
Okay, please solve the equation you're saying. Okay, now you just compare. Okay, if you are not aware of that, I just tell you. See, you can just compare this with ax square plus bx plus c. What do you mean? What is the value of a here? If you just compare these two,
1.
1.
a equals to 1. Okay. What is the value of b?
2.
2, sir.
What is the value of c?
Minus 24.
Okay. Whatever equation was, what we were using, which formula we were using? Minus b plus minus
Under
b
root of
square
minus
4ac.
1
to a.
1 to a.
Okay. So what is the value of b? Minus 2 plus minus b square is
Under
what?
root of 4
4
minus
square minus
96.
1 minus 24.
24
Okay. By 2 into 1.
to 1.
Correct. So this should be minus 2 plus minus. What's with the value?
10.
4
100
plus
100. 100.
correct.
4 plus
So this is
96.
by
10.
2 into 1.
So minus 2 plus
So what is the value we'll be getting? Minus 2 plus minus?
minus 2 plus 10 upon 2.
Okay. So one value we'll be getting is
Minus
minus
2 plus 10 upon 2.
correct, and 8 by 2.
8 by
Yes,
4 and minus 6.
okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you can solve this one just for a trial. Like you can just do that.
Rise up levels.
What?
Rise up
12 and
level.
minus 3. Minus 12 and 3. Yeah.
So that above on 8 by 2 and minus 12 by 2, how is coming?
Where? Minus?
Minus 2 plus or minus 10 by 2. So
This
8
is
by
minus
2
2.
and minus.
Minus 2. Okay. And minus 2 minus 10 by 2. So this is 8 by
Okay.
2. And this is minus 2. So I guess this is simple. Everybody will be able to solve this, correct?
Yes, sir. Minus 12
Yes,
and
sir.
3.
Okay. So next, let's deal one more question. Okay, I'm just
And it's very easy by factorization method.
factorization you can use it. I am not saying that you can't use it, but every time you can't use the factorization. That's why I just
Yes,
dealt
sir.
with only one method, and then you should be okay. Okay, if we have an equation minus x square plus 2x plus 1, whether this function will be going upward or downward?
Downward.
The equation will be somewhat like this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How to find this is one root or two root?
One.
So how to find one root or two root?
One root or two root, you calculate this, right? The determinant, calculate this b square minus 4ac, and depending on that, you can directly say that's having a one root or two root. Okay.
I have two roots and real roots.
-1 plus -2.
So depending on this value, whatever you are getting, you can directly say that's a two root error, one root. So, or you can directly calculate the root itself. Now let's move. That is fine. You can calculate that. It's pretty simple to calculate. I'm just dealing with one question. You have been given y equals to x square plus 10x plus 1. Now you have to tell me
Upward.
no. Let me just ask you some question. This is a whole question. This is a quadratic question that has been given to you, and the options that is given is this function will be having the first option is maximum value as minus 24. Second option is the minimum value will be minus 24. Third is maximum value will be 76. And the fourth is you can't determine, like you can't calculate.
The minimum is minus 24.
Can't calculate.
Option 2.
The
minimum value minus 24.
The minimum value is minus 24.
Sir, for that, minus x square plus 10x plus 1 should be there in the equation for minimum minus 24.
Okay, so I'll just remove this fourth option. Now tell me.
The second option is correct.
How many of you are agreeing that the second option is correct?
So second is correct.
Second is correct, sir.
Second one is correct.
Second.
Yeah, second is correct. I also agree with you. Second is correct. How many of you have a doubt in this? Do you have a doubt?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir, how we are getting that minus 24.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Okay. Okay. So what did I say? To calculate the minima, right? Minima will occur at what point?
The vertex.
Vertex.
Vertex. Okay. How do you
Vertex.
calculate the vertex? How do you calculate? So you differentiate it to x plus 10.
With respect to x.
X equals to minus 5. At x equals to minus 5, the minima will occur, correct?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So put the value now. Like what did I say? At vertex and x equals to minus 5, the minima will occur. And what will the minima value? You'll have to put it here, right? So minus 5 ka whole square plus 10 into minus 5
Plus
plus
1.
1. So 25 minus 50 plus 1. What is the value you're getting?
Minus 24.
24.
Minus
Okay.
24.
Is it clear to everyone?
So we can
Yes,
also
sir.
solve
Yes,
it
sir.
by minus b by 4a.
That also you can do. That also you can do. If you have the formula directly, you can do in that way also.
Yes.
Just saying, if somebody doesn't remember the formula, you can directly differentiate it, equate it to 0. Why are we equating? Because we know that at vertex, the slope will be 0. So we can get the vertex at that particular point, and then we can just put those value x coordinate of vertex to get the y coordinate, and y coordinate will tell you about the minima. Okay, clear to everyone?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
That formula, sir, we can find x through the minus b divided by 2a formula. Then where we can use this minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac.
That also you can do that. You can do that, that also you can do.
Okay.
So anything you can do, and like there's no foundation in that.
Sir, in that 2x plus 10 is equal to 1, how it's coming? 2x plus 10 is equal to 0.
Differentiation.
Oh, okay. If you don't know the differentiation, how do you calculate the slope? Okay. So x square plus 10x plus 1. So you have the formula, right? That formula in either case you have to remember, whether you know or you don't know the differentiation. 2x plus b, this is the slope, correct? or let's
Yes, sir.
leave that slope. Okay, if
Yes.
you have or you know the vertex, right? Vertex, what was the equation of vertex? Minus b by 2, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so minus b, what is minus b here? Minus 10 upon 2 into 1. So you have minus 5, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, in this way also you can calculate. If you know the formula directly, then also you can use. Or if somebody forward the formula, whether maybe that can happen, right? At least with me it occurs every time. Like in the form, like in the exam, I forward like whether it was a 2x or ax. Like I can't remember that. So it's better to, or maybe minus b by a or minus b by 2a. So if you know the like how generally we get this, you can just derive at that particular point to get the exact thing. Okay, and then if you don't forget, then there is no issue in that. You can directly remember that. So there is no
So it's
problem.
supposed to check whether it is greater than 0 or less than 0.
What are you checking? Greater than
No,
0?
supposed to check the final value greater than or less than 0. You have to compare it.
For what? For
You find the value, right? X value. After you have to submit in the equation and then find the
no, it can be anything. Like so, because you have to calculate the y coordinate, right? Y coordinate can be minima, like anything, right? Because this equation is going upward, parabola is going upward. So you already know that the minima will occur for sure, and the minima will occur at the vertex. And what will the value of the minima that you will be getting after putting the value of x in this equation? Whatever the y coordinate you are getting, that will be a minima value. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, as you have said regarding the differential formula, will it be means can we use it for every kind of quadratic equation that will be given to us, or there might be sometimes when we have to
No.
use the Caesar's formula?
Any equation you can use that. Any equation, I mean, whether it's a linear or a quadratic or even it's a polynomial, you can use that. Basically, we use that formula every time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But this slope equation that you are getting 2x plus b, that will work here only. Like for this type of equation where the quadratic equation is given in the form of x square plus bx plus c. And that itself is sufficient because we'll not be deviating from that. We'll just be sticking to x square plus bx plus c, because we are thinking that you don't know the differentiation. So slope and vertex formula you have to remember. You don't have to go in deep and then differentiate it if it is 0. Those things you can do it after week 5 and 6, when we'll just deal with the integration and differentiation part also. It's clear?
No, sir. Actually, I am from a maths background, so I know a few little about regarding this, but this one wasn't known to me. That's why I just asked it that whether it's we can do it or not.
No, you can do it, right? You just do it because everywhere the slope is what? Del y by del x. Okay. If you have a del y by del x as the rate of change of y with respect to x, right? So every time whenever your function is having some critical values, right, you'll be having your slope as 0. Correct? Okay. But here
sir,
after critical values is basically the slope is getting 0. So it's fine. But okay. Okay, so let's deal with some more problem. I'll just give you some more. So see, more or less the concept that was there for the quadratic equation was this much only. So 4 or 5 concepts you should be knowing. You should be knowing with respect to value a, whether parabola is going upward, downward, those things. Those are the minimum requirement. Then axis of symmetry you should be knowing. Vertex, slope. What will happen if the at vertex? What will be the slope? Like basically 0. And then some of the equations like the based on the discriminant, what are the other 2-3 conditions that we have dealt with? Okay, if it's a perfect square, if it's not a perfect square, or whether it will be getting a rational or irrational, like those type of things are the only concepts here. And now you can just start solving as many as problems as possible. Okay, you'll not be getting any difficult problem for the quadratic equation as given in the graded is just for the practice. If you are able to solve those questions, most probably you'll be able to solve in the qualifier also. So you don't have to worry about that, like it's a very difficult and all, just for the practice. Okay, but in the exam will not be even getting a difficulty level even close to graded assignments. Will be almost half or maybe 60% the difficulty level of the graded. Okay.
Sir, week 2 graded assignment was very tough.
It's fine. It's fine. Like you just like it's an open book problem. Like you can use it. So that's why it's like so difficult that you can use whole internet to solve those type of problems, right? So it's fine. It's just for the practice, right? So you don't have to worry about that. It's fine.
So
I'm just giving some. Yeah. Go ahead.
will be the NCRT books will be very useful for this for the preparation of this qualifier exam also. We can use
you can use that if you have a. So I would suggest to just stick with the whatever we are dealing, like the problems that we have shared with you. Okay, and the problems, the practice assignment, the activity problems, and the problems from the previous term. At least if you are just dealing with this 3-4 things now, I don't think so you have to go to anywhere. Like NCRT is a good resource, but I would prefer you to just solve the activity practice and then the previous term of paper. That if you are just solving the graded also, I'm just removing that because you're already solving and submitting it. So you can just practice the practice assignments on the activity problems. That is more than sufficient to crack, like to get a very nice score. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
You don't have to go to here and there. It's like more than, and like it's too much problems is already in our I guess portal. Yeah.
Sir, and one more query also I'm having, sir. So the post for this qualifier exam will be for me, sir.
What the qualifier? What qualifier exam?
Sir, the exam which will be writing on July 7th. So the portions for this would be from week 1 to week 4, right?
Yeah, week 1 to week 4, and each week will be having an equal weightage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's solve this problem. So you have been given y equals to a x plus 2 and b minus x. And this is minus 2 by 0. And this is b comma 0. Now you have to tell me out of these 4 options.
How many questions math contains in qualifier exams?
It will altogether will be some 10 to 12 questions will be there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, solve this problem. Just try to get the values. Whether
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have a doubt regarding the eligibility for the qualifier on 7th. It's stated in the new eligibility that the average of first 2 assignments should be 40%. So is it
Average.
that, or individually it should be 40% in each?
No, it is the average for that.
Average of first 2.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
How will you solve this question? You have been given some information, right? How will you solve this? So basically, so for the quadratic equation, no, all the summary part is done. Like we are just dealing some problem. Okay, that may help you clarify your like doubts if you have. And the next session, whenever we'll meet, we'll just so till that time, I would request everyone to go through the lectures. Like you can go through the lectures of slides. Try to solve problems. We'll just solve, or maybe you can just come up with all your doubts wherever, like in the activity practice or wherever you have a doubt. You can just come up with all your questions on the Sunday session, and we'll deal those questions in the Sunday. Okay. So today we'll just solve some of the problems. Like we are done with the summary part. This is pretty. I told you in the starting, the quadratic equation that week 3 is the most simplest that you can get from all those 4 weeks.
D.
How you are getting D as an answer?
Because the coefficient of x square is negative.
Coefficient of x square is negative in the equation. This is what you're saying?
Minus
Okay,
b by 2 will be positive.
Yes, sir.
so basically y is what? Y is a and x plus 2, and here you are getting x minus b. So this is what you're, this is the equation, right?
B minus x, sir.
No, I just took minus 1 from there. Minus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just took out that minus. So y equals to minus. This is the final equation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if this parabola is going upward, that means what? What should be the value of a? Huh?
It will be negative.
Negative or positive? Like I am just
Sir,
asking.
negative.
Sir,
positive.
Negative.
As a whole, like I'm not dealing with this equation as of now. I'm just asking you if this is a parabola going upward, that means for this equation, this a, I'm just writing capital A.
As a whole, it should be positive, sir.
Positive.
And for
So
A, it should
minus
be
a,
negative.
minus a should be positive. Minus a
Yes.
should be positive. That means a should be negative. Correct? This is what
Yes.
we are dealing with. So that's
Yes,
why
sir.
the D option should be correct. How many of you have understood this?
So I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
don't understand.
Sir, I am asking like if we get a equation like this, so after solving we need to decide whether it is getting minus or means it is getting negative or positive.
I did. You're asking after solving what roots?
Yeah, I'm sir asking like means it is in the form of multiplication a into x plus 2 into b minus x, right? So for getting the actual thing, we need to solve the equation first and then take the multiply means if it's positive or negative. After that, we need to decide.
So what I'll try to like see for any parabola that is going upward, the coefficient of x square. I'm just dealing with the coefficient of x square should be positive, correct or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
The coefficient of x square, that you can get it without even expanding this whole equation also, because here from here you can see that y was equals to what? Y is equals to a into x plus 2 into b minus x.
Yes,
if you'll expand this also, you can see that here the coefficient is positive, here it is negative. So altogether, whenever you'll solve this, you'll be getting some negative a x square, correct? And then some random values you'll be getting.
Okay,
I
sir,
don't
got
bother
it.
about. Yeah, so you just deal with this coefficient. This should be positive, and to make this positive, a should be negative. Okay, clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you please repeat or else just solve?
Can you like okay? Can you repeat that? What do you want me to explain?
The last
just solve this.
Okay, solve this one again. Okay. So what I was saying is, okay, so this is wrong. Okay. So our equation, given equation was what? Our equation is y equals to a x plus 2 b minus x. Correct? And what has been asked is, what should be the value of a? Okay, this has been asked.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So for any parabola which is going upward, you know already that parabola or the quadratic equation should be having the x square coefficient should be greater than 0. Correct or not?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is how to make this
Okay.
solve.
That if you know that, yeah. So now for any equation, you should be worrying if you have been asked about just the nature, whether it's going upward or downward. The only thing you should be concerned about is the coefficient of x square. From here, if you'll just expand this also, you'll get the same thing. I'll expand that, but first I'll do it without expanding. So the coefficient of x is what? Here it is negative.
Yes, sir.
Minus 1. Here it is positive. So we'll just multiply both this. We'll be having minus a as the coefficient of x square. Correct? Yes. But we know that this should be positive. To make it as a positive, this a should be negative, so that minus of minus will get as positive coefficient of x square. Let's expand this. If you're not able to understand that, let's expand this. A, it should be what? Xb, correct? And then you'll be left with minus x square. Then you have 2b, and then minus 2x, correct? So here minus ax square plus what? Axb minus 2x plus 2b. This equation. For this equation to be going upward, this minus ax should be positive. To make this as a positive, a should be negative. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Now.
So finally, minus 2ax minus plus 2ab, right?
That is not going to make any difference. This is not going. So only the concern is the coefficient of x squared.
Okay.
Because from the starting, we are just saying that for any quadratic equation, like wherever it is given. So I just dealt with from the starting. If you have an equation this form, some general form x square plus bx plus c is coefficient is positive, you'll be having some upward, and if this is negative, this is going downward. Okay.
Okay, understand.
Okay.
Sir, if graph is not there, so how we'll find that this is upward or downward?
The coefficient of a, right? Coefficient of x square.
Sir, like in this question, we are taking minus a, we have to make minus a positive. So we done. So how
Minus
will
a.
get?
Go ahead. Ask.
Sir, in this question, we have given a graph where we have upward parabola. If we can't get any graph where we don't able to understand that it is upward or downward, so how will we get that we have to make minus a as positive or negative for
In
make
those
one
cases, you
parabola?
can't, no? You can't. If you are not given the parabola itself, whether it's going downward or upward, you can't say anything because it depends on the value of a. If a was negative, a is negative for this case. I'm not generalizing it for this case because your equation is minus ax square or something. So for this case, if a is negative, that means the coefficient will be what? Positive. So if a is negative, you will be having upward. And if your a is positive here, it will be going downward. For this case, because minus ax square is the coefficient. Is it clear or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, I'm just asking again one more thing. You already know the equation to calculate the tangent or the slope, right? So if
Yes.
I'm asking you to calculate the equation of a tangent at 2x square plus 9x plus 20 at minus 3 comma 11, can you give me the equation?
4x plus 9.
4x plus 9. I don't think so that is correct.
Sir, what's the question?
You have to calculate the equation of a tangent.
Sir, 4x plus 9.
Equation of how are you calculating? You have to calculate the equation of a tangent. How do you calculate this? You need a slope at a point. A point is given. How do you calculate a slope at that particular point? Slope, how do you calculate? 2x plus b, right? Okay, so what is the slope that you are getting? What is the m you are getting?
4x plus 9.
So 4x plus 9, sir.
Sir, 4x plus 9.
Minus
What is
3
the
sir,
value?
slope.
Minus 7. Minus 7.
Yes, sir.
Minus 7 you are getting. 4 into 2.
Minus 3, sir.
Minus 3 you are getting. Okay, so now you have to get y equals to mx. One equation you have to get, right?
3x
That is passing.
is equal to 2. Equation of the tangent.
So y equals to mx plus c. So you already have y is what? 11 equals to m is what? 3 into minus 3 and minus 3, right? And then c is what? C is 2 you are getting. So the equation what I am getting is minus 3x plus 2. Any confusion? How you are getting 4x plus 9? I don't
No,
know.
sir.
How did you do that? Like why everyone is getting incorrect
Sir,
answer? This was
actually,
pretty
sir,
simple, right?
we just calculated the m and didn't go for this. That's why we were getting like that.
Okay, so see, if you have been see, let's for example, this is a parabola. If you have to calculate a tangent, tangent is basically it's just touching the your equation and passing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
for any equation that is touching your like the quadratic equation of the parabola, it's just touching, right? It's touching and going. So at this particular point, you need what? You need a slope at a point where it is passing. So slope you can calculate. Slope formula you already know that, and it's passing through minus 3/11. So it's like this is what you need to generate a lining segment, like to know the equation of a line segment. Is it clear to everyone, or should I repeat it?
Sir, can you scroll little down?
So the
Can you?
equation is same like linear, the m, and then the 2 points means y is equal to mx plus c for a linear as well as this also, right?
Okay, I'll reiterate it. Okay. So first of all, you should be knowing what is tangent. Tangent is basically a straight line. Okay, that is just touching your curve and passing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
A straight line that just touching your curve at some particular point. Okay. So for this equation, for this given equation, Right. So let's for example, you have to calculate a tangent at this particular point. Okay. This was your point. This was your point as minus 3, 10. So to get the equation, can you please mute yourself? I can't see the name, but please mute yourself. Okay. So if you have to get the second thing is so to get the tangent or the any equation of a line, you just forget this tangent. I'm just asking you have to get a equation of a line at minus 3 by minus 3, 10 that touches the equation of the parabola. Okay. So you should be knowing the slope at this particular point. To calculate the slope, you have the formula 2x plus at some particular point. If you have to calculate the slope, you already know that how to calculate the slope. Please mute yourself.
Divyansu Gautam.
Okay. So I guess this is fine now. So so where we were solving this problem where we have been given a quadratic equation or a parabola, and then you have to calculate a tangent at some particular point minus 3, 11. Okay, so minus 3, 11. So for this to get a line segment that is just touching your curve and going, so you need a slope at that particular point. So to calculate the slope, you have the formula 2x plus b, or you can differentiate it at that any point and put the value at whatever the value that is being given here, you'll get the slope or the m. To not confuse you, you have a formula for the slope. So for the slope, you have a formula 2x plus b. For a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c. You just put the formula 2x plus b, get the slope at that particular point. So at this minus 3, 11, you'll get a slope. Okay. So the m value you already have. Now, what else you need? C you need because your equation you just thought of as a equation as y equals to mx plus c. Even though you can solve with some other method also. You already know the other method. What's the other method? Like if you have the slope, you already know that y minus y1 upon x minus x1 equals to this m, right? So in that case also, so in that way also you can solve that question, right?
Okay.
Yes. Sir, solve one, please.
Okay. Okay. So for this, so yeah.
In the same question above, could you scroll up? Yeah, here you're after the slope, you're giving ms equal to 2 into 2 processing. How do you actually? I think I missed a track there.
Okay, so this is 2, right? And this is a. A is 2 here, right? A is 2, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, and this formula is 2x plus c. So this is 2, this is A, and this is x, and this is B. Okay, so from there we got M, and to get the equation of a line, you already know that the equation is y equals to mx plus c. Okay,
Yes, sir.
M you already have, right? And this line is passing through -3, 11. So what else
Yes,
you
sir.
need? You need c, right? You already have M. To get c, as you already know that -3, 11 is passing through this line. So I can just put this 11 equals to -3 into -3 plus c. So you'll get c equals to 2, correct? And then you
Yes,
got the
sir.
equation. You can solve it with the other methods also, right? You have many other methods also to solve, like if the point and intercept form, or we have one slope and one straight, like the point you can solve in that way also. So there are so many methods you can solve it, right? So I told you, right?
Yes, sir.
Y minus y1 equals to m x
X
minus
minus.
x. So this method also you can use it. Any method you can use it to solve the equation. Okay?
But there
Is
will
it
be only
fine?
one point of intersection with the tangent in this loop. There won't be more than that.
What?
I
You
mean,
can
the tangent
get
is
a
touching at
tangent.
what?
No, tangent will touch at only one particular point. Only one, like
Yeah.
just touch and go. So at every point you can get the tangent. At everywhere you can get a tangent.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is it clear to everyone? Can we move to the next question?
Yes.
Sir.
Sir.
Okay. So I have one question. So this is. So you have to calculate the length. Length of a line segment on the straight line y equals to 2 bounded by okay. So if this is the equation, okay, I'll just give you the hint. Y equals to x square. So this parabola will be going upward or downward?
Upward.
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 Upward, right? So this will be somewhat like this, right? This will be going like this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because x equals to 0 will be your axis of symmetry, right? You already
Yes,
know
sir.
that x equals to minus b to a. So here everything is 0. So this will be x equals to 0 will be, that is parallel to this x equals to 0. Okay, that will be your axis of symmetry. Okay, so 0, 0. So this will be your equation. This will be your equation. This is the equation. Now you have to tell me that length of the line segment on the straight line. So y equals to 2. What should be the y equals to 2? This will be y equals to 2, correct? This is y equals to 2.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me the length of this length. How will you get the coordinate of this 2 point? And if you just get the coordinate or the x-axis of both this point, you'll be able to solve it, I guess, right?
Yes.
So we will put the value of y equal to 2.
Okay. Y equals to 2, where you'll put? You'll equate both the equation.
In the equation, sir.
In the equation, how can you put the, okay, so you'll just equate it 2 equals to 4x square. Correct, correct. Yeah, this is correct method. Yeah, and then you will get the value of x. What are the value of x you are getting? X square is equals to 1 upon 2. So x you are getting as
Plus or minus.
Wow. So 1 here it will be minus 1 by root 2. Here it will be 1 by root 2.
Plus 1 by root 2.
And the y will be what? 2. Here also the y will be 2 because y equals to 2 is constant. So now the length you can directly calculate it, right? 1 upon root 2 into 2. So root 2 square unit.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I repeat
Finally,
it or?
repeat please.
Okay, I'll repeat it. So what I was saying is, you have been asked to calculate the length of a line segment, okay, on the straight line y equals to 2, bounded by the curve y equals to 4x square. So for this equation, you can see that if you just compare it with the 4x square plus bx plus c, you can see that the coefficient of x square is positive. That means this parabola will go upward. So this is going upward. The other thing is, how will you calculate? So you should be knowing the axis of symmetry, where axis of symmetry will give you an idea where to plot the quadratic, like the parabola. So for this equation, x equals to 0 was the axis of symmetry. That means this x equals to 0 will be the axis of symmetry, and it will hover above around this. Okay. So now you can see that this is the parabola that you are getting. Or maybe, let's for example, this parabola was given to you, y equals to x square is already given to you. You just plotted it, and y equals to 2 has been given as a line segment, and then you have been asked what is the length that is it is getting bounded with y equals to x 4x square. So you can see that this is the boundary. If y equals to 2, you are plotting this parallel to x-axis. You can see that it is cutting somewhere. It will cut at some particular 2 points. And how can you get that? Even though, let's for example, you don't know the equation at, like you are not able to plot this. So then also y equals to 2, if it is given, you should be equating to get the values from where it is equating, like where it is cutting the plot, whether it's cutting or not cutting, or it is just touching. That you can directly get it if you just equate 2 equals to 4x square. And if you are getting two values, that means what? It will cut the parabola at 2 points. If you would have got only one value, okay, then you could have thought that it is just touching and going. So that means the length will be 0, because just touching and going. So that means there won't be any length. As it is cutting at 2 particular points, so that means cutting at 2 points. And if you have a 2 points, for sure it will be a line segment you can make, and the length you have to calculate. So that you can calculate it. Have you got
The
the
length,
idea?
how did you calculate? What is the formula?
Length, so
So
you can
how
directly calculate it now. This is x1 and this is x2. So x1 plus x2 is the length.
So how you are getting
Sir,
this
is it
one
necessary
half
that
into
x should be
1
0
by root 2
only?
into 2 and not getting that form, sir?
What you are not getting?
The length we are not getting.
Okay, length you are not getting, then calculate it. This distance you can calculate it, right? The formula you already know that.
Yes, sir. Also,
If you have x1, y1 and x2, y2, you use the formula.
y2
right?
minus y1.
Correct.
Okay.
So you can use
So
that. So
from there
y2
you
minus y1 is
half
what?
into
2 minus 2 is 0. So y2, 2 minus 2 is 0. Plus the left is what? x1 minus x2. So 1 upon root 2 minus of 1 upon root 2. Correct? So you'll be left with what? You're left with root 1 upon root 2 into 2. The whole square and then root 2. So then it will get cut. You'll be left with root 2. Sorry.
Sir, how we assume that the line or the parabola will pass through that x is equal to 0 only?
Because see, why? Because this parabola is what? Y equals to 4x square. If you just compare with x square plus bx plus c. For this, you have a equals to 4. That means a positive value. It will go upward. No confusion in that. Now, you have to get the vertex, right? Vertex is what?
Minus b
by 2.
Minus
So
b
here
by
you're
2.
getting 0, right? X equals to
Yes.
0. If you are putting x equals to 0 in this place, you'll get y. Y is also you are getting 0. That means the origin, the vertex is what? 0, 0. And the axis of symmetry is what? X equals to 0. So axis of symmetry is what? Minus b by 2a only, right? Is not it? Okay, I'll just write it again. Maybe this is going fast, I guess. Okay. So for any equation, ax square plus bx plus c. Your axis of symmetry is what? Axis of symmetry is basically minus b by 2a. Is not it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
This much you are
Yes,
able
sir.
to understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Vertex is what? Vertex is minus b by 2a and then f of minus b by 2a. This is the vertex?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
for this equation, for our equation y equals to 4x square. So for us, b is 0, right? B is 0. That means axis of symmetry is what? X equals to 0. X equals to 0 is which line? Is it a x-axis or a y-axis?
Origin.
Y-axis.
No, x equals to 0. X equals to 0 is a line. Is it a y-axis or
Y-axis.
x-axis? Y-axis, correct. Because on the y-axis will always be x as a 0. So now you can see that y-axis is your axis of symmetry And the vertex is what? The vertex is x equals to 0. And if you put x equals to 0 here, you'll get 0, 0. That means your vertex is 0, 0. So now if you have to plot it, this is x of symmetry, this is x of symmetry, this is x equals to 0, this is y-axis, but x equals to 0, because if you just think of this point, we'll be having x equals to 0 and y as some y1. Here also, the x will be 0, y equals to y2, something like that. Okay, and the vertex is 0, 0. So this is a 0, 0 as your vertex. And then if you have to plot the parabola, it will go, because you already know that it's going upward, because a is positive. So this is how you'll plot. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Nothing. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Let's move to some other question. We'll just deal with one more question, one or two more questions, and then we'll do it. What I'll try to say is like just go through the content. Okay, you have some 1 days. You just go through the content. Like you can just go through, and then Sunday whenever we'll meet, we'll just solve all your doubts.
I have questions. All these formulas are there in the lecture.
All these formulas are there. Yeah, all these formulas are there.
Okay, and in the previous parabola that you are actually explaining, the prior slide, you are talking about the y value being 2 in both the sides. But how is the y value on the left hand side is it's 2 still, it's in a negative quadrant?
Okay, see, let's for example, this is a coordinate system. Okay, so this is was y equals to 2. Y equals to 2 means is it at each particular point y will be 2, correct?
Always to constant.
So this is y will always be positive, right? So y will be negative in this, like the third or the fourth quadrant. Here x will be negative. Here x will be negative because x is positive in this way and the x is negative this way. That's why you were getting minus 1 by root 2 and 2. And here you were getting 1 by root 2 and 2. Because y equals to 2, that means every point will be having y as a constant value. That's why this equation is y equals to 2.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
That is fine. I was asking the distance formula. Without putting distance formula, you got the root 2. That's why I wonder how did you root the shortcut of distance?
Okay, okay. So let's for example this, if I'm just writing it as this coordinate, x equals to 1 comma 2, and here I'm just writing it as a minus 3 comma 2. Okay, what should be the distance between these two? You can calculate with the distance formula for sure, but how will you calculate the distance here?
Minus 3 to 0, so it is 3. And plus
Yeah, here it will be 3 and here it will be 1, right?
1, yes.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Why we are able to
between
do
4.
that? Yeah. Why we are able to do that? Because this both are lying on a line that is parallel to x-axis. If that was something like this, then we can't write it. Here we were able to do that because y is 2 for both the cases. So from here the length is 2 here also, and here also it is 2. So you just have to calculate this length.
Okay,
are you able to understand? That's why. Because whenever you'll calculate the distance formula, here y2 minus y1 will get cancelled. Okay, because here also it is 2, here also it is 2. So this will get cancelled. So you're left with what? X2 minus x1 the whole square ka under root. Correct?
Okay.
So it will be x2 minus x1 itself. So basically it is like you are just adding both the things.
Yes, sir.
But if you are getting confused, yeah, if you I strongly prefer, if you are just getting confused, you directly use the distance formula. Every time you'll get will cancel, but you'll not be getting confused. Like you'll be cancelling y coordinate values, but you'll not get confused if you are getting confused here. Because maybe this is the first, like after some time, like after solving some 2-3 equations, you'll get to know that I no need to like calculate with this formula. Directly you can use this add if it's lying on the same line. Line means it's parallel to some x-axis. Then you can directly add it. Otherwise you can't.
Will you solve the grade assignment of second week today?
Grade assignment of second week.
Yes,
let's deal in the other session, or maybe there are PS session, right? You can maybe next session I'll deal with that. Grade assignments already done, right? Okay, we haven't solved those grades after submitting. This is what you're asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll deal that week 2 remaining portion. Like remaining portion, I mean, if you have any doubt in any of the graded assignments question, we'll deal in the next session. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll just one more question will solve and then we'll just see that. Okay, so one more question is, yeah, go ahead if you have a doubt.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, how we solve the word problems in activity questions?
which question in activity question?
After they give the word problem like summary something. 3.2.
Summary session.
No, sir. Summary word problem, sir. In 3.2, some questions are there, sir. How we can form the equation, then we solve it. How can do that, sir? Example: Tom has 20 toys. Then he lost three toys. Like that question, sir.
Okay, those type of questions only with the practice will be able to. That's why I'm saying that to solve each and every question of the activity, just today you have a time, tomorrow you have a time, okay, to solve each and every question and then come up with all your doubts on the Sunday session that will occur from 8 to 10. Okay.
Sir, when will week 4 content will be released?
Week 4 will be released today itself. Yeah.
Already released.
It is already released. Already
For-
released, sir.
For maths, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes.
For all the subjects.
I don't
Every
think so.
subject they release, sir.
No, I don't think so. For maths, it is released. I
No,
didn't
sir.
check till now.
They're already
Yes,
released.
check tomorrow.
It will be released today itself. So don't worry.
Yeah. For math, it's not released.
It's not release date.
Yeah. Today, the Friday, it will be like today. It will be released. So don't worry
Yes,
about
sir.
that. Mm-hmm. So
Regarding the tangent that you said, like which is actually touching upon, so this tangent is always like outside the parabola. It won't intersect in between.
can you repeat that? Maybe your voice is low or I'm not able.
The tangent that you mentioned, that actually it's touching upon the parabola on
Correct.
some point. It is always be outside the parabola. It won't be kind of dissecting the parabola at any point.
No. It won't be. It just touches the parabola. Yeah. It will just touch and it will not be, because if it is bisecting or it's cutting, then it will be a line that is cutting the parabola at two particular points. It will not be a tangent. Okay, tangent means that it just touches and goes. Okay, this is the last question that we are solving. So you have been given this pretty simple, and this type of problem you'll be getting in the exam. So very basic question. You have a quadratic question. Some of the options are there.
Summation of week 3.
Yeah. Summary we are done with. We are just solving. So only those 5-7 concepts that we have dealt with, those are there. If you are able to understand that, you'll be able to solve all the problems. So for this equation, you have to calculate first of all axis of symmetry.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay, I'll just write it and then you can ask me. So the first thing that you have to calculate is axis of symmetry.
-3.
Okay, that is fine. Slope at -3, -1.
Let's proceed.
And then what is the slope at some x and fx? And the zeros.
-4 and -2.
Okay. Minimum value. Yeah, these 5 things you have to calculate. The axis of symmetry, you already know the formula. What is the formula? -b by 2a. But the equation you are getting? -6 by -3. So don't get confused. If you have been given, okay, I'm just asking y equals to -3 or x equals to -3. Which is the axis of symmetry?
-3.
X
X
is
is equal
minus
to
3.
minus
Which one? X equals to
X,
minus 3 or y equals to
X equal to
X
minus
is
3.
equal to minus 3.
correct. So don't get confused. If you have been given y equals to minus 3, don't mark it as correct. So do not mark it. I'm just writing it, and then also many of the people will mark it y equals to minus 3 as correct. Okay. So I'm just writing in some yellow. So do not mark it. Okay. Slope at
Minimum
minus 3
is
comma.
equal to -1.
Okay. Okay. What is the slope at minus 3 comma minus 1? Slope at x equals to 2x plus b. So what is the equation that you are getting?
0.
0.
Yeah, this is 0. Okay. What are the zeros of the equation?
Minus
-4, comma
and
-2.
-2.
Minus 4 comma minus 2.
Minus
That is
2.
correct. Yeah, that is 2. Minus 2 and minus 4. What is the minimum value that you are?
-1, I
-2.
think.
It's equal to minus 3. And if you are putting minus 3, so the minimum value will be minus 3 plus 6 into minus 3 plus 8. So 9 plus 8 minus 18. So what is the value you are getting?
-1, yeah.
-1.
Okay. Any issue? Anyone is having any issue in this?
The fourth one, how
No,
did
sir.
you calculate? -2, -4.
Which one? Minus 2 minus. Okay, this though you can use the formula minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. Just put the values. A equals to 1, b equals to 6, and c equals to 8. Clear?
Yes.
Any confusion?
Yes, sir.
So whatever we have dealt with, I guess from the starting. So we've dealt with. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay.
Just
So
I'm getting confusion. X comma minus fx. Can you just show that x number 3?
Yes, I have also confusion in x comma fx slope.
Yeah, that one.
okay.
Sir, I have a question for radiated segment, sir.
Yeah, what is the confusion here? Slope.
Sir, I'm not.
Slope.
Yeah, I have understood for question 2, but I'm not getting for question 3. How to we
Question 3. So just the so if you have been given to ask to calculate slope or slope at x comma y or at x comma fx, all are same. Okay, so you just write it as 2ax plus b, or just differentiate the equation. Whatever the equation that you'll be getting will be your slope. Okay, so for this equation, what was our equation? What is our equation? X
So
square.
for second we got 0.
2x.
Second we got 0.
What is the equation? X square plus
6x plus 8.
x plus 8. Okay, so the equation, the slope is what?
2x
Slope
plus
at
6.
2x plus 6. X plus 6.
Okay, correct. And if you have to calculate at what particular point? 3 minus 3 comma minus 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the slope? 2 into minus 3 plus 6. So this is 0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the confusion here?
No,
Sir,
sir.
that I got question
No,
number
sir.
2. That is question number 2, sir. I have completed question number 3.
Yeah, question number 3 only, right? Question number 3 is what? Slope at some particular x comma y. This is what has been given. So this is a formal. No, this answer is not 3. This is 2. What is the equation? Oh, sorry. I didn't wrote it. So this is basically what is the value you are getting? Slope 2x plus 6. This is the answer.
Oh,
that's
that's the confusion, sir.
Okay. I'm really sorry. I just wrote it like okay, no problem. Okay. So this is just the basic thing about the quadratic equation. Just go and solve all the problems, and then you can just come up with your doubts on the Sunday session. Okay, is this clear to everyone?
Minima will be
Yes.
the vertex, sir.
Minima will be your y coordinate of your vertex.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, I have a question from Sir graded assignment, sir.
Yeah, graded assignment will not be discussing today. Maybe
No,
the next
graded assignment week 2, sir, which is already completed, sir.
Okay.
Sir, week
So
2, question number 7, sir, actually. Sir, why the option is like SSC calculated by B is 18, sir? Because mine is coming 72, sir.
okay.
So answer must be wrong, sir, given.
The answer can't be wrong for sure, but let me check it one. Question number, what did you say? Question number 18.
Question number 7, sir. That the question, every question is like different for like every
Most of the
person, sir.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question is to determine that the gas constant R, sir. Two students A and B perform an experiment based on this ideal, sir. That gas equation, sir. PV is equal to RT.
Okay,
That
let me check it whether I have that question or not. What is that question? To determine the gas constant R. Is this a question?
Yes.
So maybe your, I don't know what is the value
Sir,
that
if you'll calculate, sir, some square error will be like B option B will be coming 72, sir.
Okay.
That option four can't be like the correct option. Okay, option 2 is acceptable because B is the B is doing better than like better fit than the A because it has a less number like that. A has a 76 and it has a 72. So I mean B is doing better. B is fit better than the option A, sir. But fourth option, I don't think so. The fourth option is correct, sir.
Okay. Okay, maybe let me check it out the value because
Exactly, the value comes to 72 and 74, not 18, 14. The given answer is 18. That is wrong.
Yes, sir.
I too had the same question. I answered B alone. I got only half point.
Yes, sir. I have also opted for like option B, and I have got half mark, sir.
B is better bit than A. That only right, but they have chosen the value of A is E is 18. That is wrong.
When will we get the solution for the grade 2 assignment? Uploaded.
Sir, can I ask one question, sir?
no. One second. I just have to. What are the values that are given to you? I'm not sure which values have been because every values will be having the answers are different, right?
Which the table value you are talking about, sir? The data
value.
collected by student A, right?
Correct. That value I'm talking about.
Yeah, 274 by like 274 by 137 and 276 by 139, 278 by 142, 282 by 141 and 290 by 142. That one.
Okay.
This
What
the
you
data.
do is okay. 1 second. I'll just go through that. What I'll suggest. I'll just putting my mail ID here. Okay. You can just mail me regarding this points. Okay. So it's the chat box.
Because sir, after getting the graded assignment not solution, the answer I have again cross checked, sir, again and again twice cross checked, but my answer is coming same, sir, again and again.
Okay.
Your answer 72. Is your answer 72 or 18?
72. That is
Yeah, it's correct. 72 is absolutely correct. 18 was wrong.
Yeah. So that means your answer the answer provided by, answer provided by them is wrong, sir.
Yeah, it was absolutely wrong.
Is this confirmed by any teacher that you're saying it's absolutely wrong?
We have got just 2-3 times. We have solved it and we have got the same answer.
Yeah.
Which
No, like
particularly
if
obvious
you
that
are
it's
getting the
incorrect.
same answer, that means maybe something is wrong in the method. No, how can you just say that the answer is itself wrong?
One
Yes,
second.
yes.
You don't have to worry about that. Just mail me regarding this, okay? I just put the my mail ID. I'll check the question, okay? Don't worry about that. I don't think so. The answer will be incorrect, but even though I'll check it again, okay?
So the answer is not incorrect, sir. I
Like
got
t
18.
equal to t by 2 form, you'll get the answer correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the answer won't be incorrect. Like the answer won't be incorrect.
See, you need to sir. Actually, the thing is that 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 is very simple. Like they have given the formula PV is equal to RT. We need to put the values into that formula, right? And after that, you need to prepare the table. Yes,
You can also cancel
some
the
square
values, right?
if
So,
you
squaring
can,
the values.
if you
Uh,
yeah, if you
What you're saying is they have given the values of t and p. We have to assume t as the x value and keep it in the PV is equal to RT formula.
no, they have
And then
given the
P is
value of
the
V
value of
and
P. When you subtract, when you find the squared error for P, you will get the correct answer.
no, they have given the value of V. Actually, V and R they have given.
V and R, they have mentioned you are not supposed to find V and R. You are supposed to find different values of P.
That's what I'm saying. You need to calculate the sum squared error table, not error table.
Some squared error only, man.
If yes, that's what I'm saying,
You get
man.
18. Array, change the values for P.
You are calculating that error value. If you calculate the error value, it will going to become 18.
Array,
If
some
you
squared error only will come
no
18.
can't
Squared
be
it.
Okay,
possible.
please,
Do
please,
it.
please.
Why
I'll
can't it be
discuss.
possible?
I'll
What the hell?
discuss this problem. Okay. I'll discuss this problem. Okay, don't worry
For the
about it.
question, if you do it
I
like
already
p is
mailed
equal
you
to t by 2
about.
form, you
I
get
already sent you the mail ID. Just like forward the question itself, and then I'll let you know. Okay. Do not worry about that. If the answer, most probably the answer would be like whatever the given answer is correct. But even though I'll check it again from my side, and I'll send you the solution. Okay, is that fine for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, last time one last teacher said that we'll get the solutions of the graded assignment. Means
Yeah, you'll
complete
get.
solution.
Yeah, you'll get the solution. Week 1, you already uploaded. Week 2 will also be uploaded. Don't worry about that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah. So.
sir,
Sir, I want to ask one question, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So whoever
Yeah, sir, in the last question which we solved, sir, we didn't get the y value just in the form, got the y value in the form of 2x plus 6. So our minimum will be the that only. If x, you said that y coordinates 2x plus 6.
2x plus 6. Okay, I'll just share with you the slide again.
Or we will put the value of minus 3 in fx and get the value, and that will be
Yeah, you just have to put the value of minus x. Right? You don't have to put like
fx.
y is not like in the equation itself. You just have a x, right? Why will you put fx? Okay.
Here
In
in
the
the
equation is
equation I
2x
put.
plus b. Like.
Hello.
Yeah.
So in the fx one, sir, at the last question.
Yeah.
So in that here sir, in the equation itself we'll put the value of minus 3 and then we'll get the value of fx. That will be the minimum.
Please mute yourself, the other people.
So can you listen to?
Yeah.
Sir, I'm asking like our minimum will be, we'll put the value of minus 3 in fx. In the equation we will get the minima.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what
Yeah, because see, that's the vertex, right? You already know that at vertex only the minima like will occur, right? So if you just put the x coordinate and then you'll whatever the values that you are getting from the parabola or the equation, that will be your minima. Okay.
that is minus 1, sir.
Minus 1. Minus 1. Right. Yeah, correct. Okay.
Sir,
So,
I have a doubt from activity question 3.2, sir.
Okay, so what I'll do is, I'm not feeling well, so I'll just close it off. Maybe I'll just meet you on the Sunday session. Okay, is it fine? Or so you can just go through the lectures, slides, everything, and then come up here all your doubts. Okay. Even though okay, I can just take this last one. The activity, which one you said? Activity question number which one?
3.2 activity question. Okay. Question number 3. 3.2 question number 3.
Okay. Yeah, what's the problem here? So you just have to read it and write the equation. This is what represent the following problem in the form of equation. This is what you're asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. What's the doubt here?
Sir, I am
So
facing
here the
difficulty in
medicine
solving the question.
manufacturer, a medicine manufacturer produce Y number of vaccine every day. Okay.
The manufacturing cost of each vaccine is 100 rupees plus.
Let me share my screen. So here it has been given. Represent the following problem in the form of equation. A medicine manufacturer company, medicine manufacturer produce Y number of vaccine per day. Okay, that's fine. And then Y is the number of vaccine per day. The manufacturing cost of each vaccine is 100.
100 plus the number of vaccine.
100 plus
the number of
the
vaccine.
cost per vaccine, right? This is 100 plus
the number of
100 plus Y, correct? This is what has been given.
Yes.
On a particular day, the total manufacturing cost was 10,000. The manufacturing cost in 10,000. That means what? Y into 100 plus, correct? This is 10K.
Yes, sir.
Right? So just write it in this form, right? What is the equation that we are getting? Y square plus 100Y equals to 10,000. So we'll solve the equation, you'll get the value of Y, the number of vaccine per day developing or manufacturing. This is what is like, this is simple, right? What's the confusion here?
Sir, I am facing in making the equation. Now I am clear, sir.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, so maybe after solving some problems now, you'll get an idea how to at least write an equation, and then don't worry about that.
I think up to 3.5, I think the activity questions are being solved and it's been recorded in the previous PA session.
Okay, I guess, yeah, okay, that's fine, that's nice. So what are the doubts? Even though if you have a doubt in activity also, you can just come up with all your doubts on the Sunday session.
Sir, once can you say how many questions will
What
come?
will be the next session?
Next session will be on Sunday, and then after that on Monday and then Tuesday. So Sunday will be from 8 to 10. Yeah.
So can you once say how many questions will be there in qualifier exam?
10 to 12 questions from
No,
maths.
sir, total, like all the 4 subjects if we...
4 subjects, I'm not, like, I don't know about the other subject, but maths only I can say.
12 questions, sir. So 3 from each.
It's not exactly 12. You can't say me like, I'm just saying you an idea, give you an idea. 10 to 12 questions will be there.
So like in previous qualifier exams, it has been varying the number of questions.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying you. It will not be crossing some 14 questions, okay, 13, 14, but it will be under 13, 14 itself. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So will there be subjective question as well? Like we have to show all the steps of
No, you don't. No subjective questions. Just the multiple choice. Multiple
Sir,
select or any.
questions.
Okay, sir.
Like
Thank
the
you,
given
sir.
blank and we have to enter that type questions will also be there.
NAT will be there where you have to put the numerical value.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir, what will be the time provided? Time you know total.
Timing,
Sir, can
everything
you
is been
arrange
given already in
practice
the
test for
grade.
qualifiers?
Okay.
What?
Can you arrange a practice test for qualifiers? So for qualifiers, just like these practice graded not graded assignments, can you arrange a practice session for these qualifiers so that we can just get an idea like
Yeah, we'll be
how
having
we
some
have to.
session. We'll be having some sessions in the end, like 2-3 sessions in the end where we'll just solve the problems. Yeah, will be like a revision session or not. Okay. Even though we'll solve some problem in the next session, and after that also you'll solve with us also. I'll just come up with some good 20-25 questions. If you're just able to solve all those, I guess we'll be able to solve the qualifier paper also for at least this week. Okay.
Sir, do we provide calculator in the exam, on-screen calculator?
It's there. It's there. It's there. Don't worry about that. The calculator will be there.
And the 4 hours, all the questions are mixed up, or it's kind of 1 hour separately.
It's not separate, something like that. It's just that we'll be having a paper of maths, and then we can just go and solve stats, and then go and solve English or whatever the course that you have taken. Yeah, it's not. It's not bound. That also you'll have to confirm. But as far I know, I guess you'll be given some 2-3 hours. Like how many subjects you have taken. You'll be
It says 4 hours. Yeah, it says 4 hours. So I was wondering, like, how I mean, we need to complete everything in 1 hour each, or 4 hours is open for all the questions that we can do any question at time.
That I'll have to confirm whether the timing is there or not for each paper, or that I have to confirm, and maybe I'll let you know in the next session.
Thank you so much.
But as far I know, I guess the whole time is given to you, 2-3 hours, like whatever the number of course you have taken. Okay, but I'll confirm that so that there won't be any confusion in your mind. Yeah.
Vishal sir, I have already sent you mail, sir. Please check it.
Okay, I'll check that and I'll respond.
And if sir a rectification requires, sir, please convey the message to sir. And
I'll do that. I'll do that. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks everyone for like joining the session. We'll meet again in the Sunday session.
Sir, how to inform what will the next live session?
How to
inform what
we'll be getting the mails, right?
the
You get the mails,
live
or you get the WhatsApp message, or you get the calendar is there already.
It's in Google Calendar already.
It's there in the Google Calendar. Yeah. So the recording is there on the YouTube. You can just it's there. I guess Tushar was asking, so it's there on the YouTube. Okay, thanks everyone, and thank you all. I'll meet you again on the session, next session, Sunday session. Okay,
Thank you,
thanks.
sir.
Thank you.
Take care.